lesson is entitled, once again, Time to Open Your Eyes. There's going to need to be a separation of your circle. There's going to need to be a separation of some of the people that you deal with. There's going to have to be a separation of some of your friends. And it may even come down to a separation from your local church that you deal with. Because if you're trying to go into the things of the Most High, and you're trying to do what thus says the Lord, and you're trying to go to the next level, and our people are not, your people that you're currently around are not invested in that, then that's going to need to be a separation. All right? Now read the last part of that verse 3. So this is first about those who are seeking help. So if you're in a position right now where you're seeking help in your life, and you're seeking a change, and you're seeking to grow, and you're seeking your purpose, and you're seeking to get out of some bad habits and walking away from sin, some sin that you've been trapped in, then you're going to have to bring yourself to the understanding that it's going to need to be a separation from certain people in your life. All right, read that second part of verse 23.
And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him what he saw.
All right, now, this deals with those who are getting help. Some of you have already submitted to Christ. Some of you are already a part of a church and has a pastor and spiritual leaders who are speaking into your life. Some of you have found the one that the Most High has for you, so you're starting your life together, or you are already married. Some of you have found a job, and you come to the understanding. You've done the self-analysis of yourself, and you're actually getting the help that you need. But what I need to stress to you today is that it's going to demand for you to step outside of your norm. Now, it's not normal for any man to allow some other man to spit on his face, right? And what I want to encourage you today is that there are going to be some things that you're going to have to do that's going to require you to step outside of what you normally would do. Number one, and most importantly, you're going to have to forgive the people that have done you wrong. And that may have not been something that you have been accustomed to. But in order to get your eyes fully open, to your destiny and the purpose that is on your life, you're going to have to forgive the people that hurt you. You're going to have to go back into some areas and do some things and do some recompense to some people that you may have hurt. You may have to go and ask for forgiveness. You're going to have to be in a situation where you're going to have to allow your leaders and your spiritual leaders to stretch you beyond what you think your normal capacity is. This man was seeking help. He was seeking to be blind, seeking to have his eyes to be open, but he was not seeking to get his face spit up on. Amen? Now, this was just a remedy, the area that Christ decided to use on him to bring about what he needed. But you need to ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes to get your blessing? Are you willing to do what it required to reach your purpose? I'm thinking right now the Most High is speaking about the time when Nahum and Samuel, who was a leopard, who wanted to be healed, and Elijah told him to go dip himself in the Jordan. Well, he thought that the bodies of water that were back in Syria were more cleaner than the Jordan, and I'm this great man of valor. Why would I go and get into some water to be healed? But his servant told him and said, look, if he'd have told you to do something great when you would have did it, you got to have to humble yourself. That's why the Bible tells us in 1 Peter 5 and 6, humble yourself in the mighty hand of the Lord, and he will exalt you in due time. The reason why many of you have not been exalted because you refuse to kneel. You refuse to be humble. You refuse to allow people to speak in your life. You refuse to be taught, so you want to stay in your stubbornness, and you're going to have to get out of that in order to do what the Most High has called you to do. Today's lesson today is, it's time to open your eyes. Give me verse 25 again there. No, actually give me 24 and 25.
And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
Okay, so you see here now, in the process of him getting the help that he needed, what he desired of the Lord was not quite yet done yet. It wasn't a finished process. And the Bible lets us know in Philippians 1 and 6, it says, he who begins the work in you shall complete that work until the end. So I want to encourage you, if you have some things in your life, you trying to go celibate and you've been celibate for a couple of months and you mess around and fell back and you fornicated, don't give up. Don't say that I might as well just go ahead back to fornicating and doing things that I know I'm supposed to. No. Stay with it. Because sometimes it's going to need for you to go an extra mile. It's going to need for you to fast more. It's going to need for you to study more. It's going to need for you to receive some teaching and some understanding. And so the Most High is not going to leave you in a state undone. That's where you can always be encouraged with it, man. And read verse 25.
After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored, and he saw every man clearly.
You're going to have to allow Christ, allow the Most High through Christ, to lay his hands on you again, to continue to work on you. Listen, just because you've been saved 5 years don't mean you're automatically good. All right? We're all a working process. All right? And some of us that are beginning to come into the helpful stage, you're being used by the Most High in some form of fashion. This doesn't mean when I say that you're helpful, that you're someone that's a preacher or serving in the church. You're being helpful in the kingdom by going to work, being light and salt every day. By having a kind word for those who you pass on the streets. For seeing somebody in need and lending and giving money to them. To seeing someone sick and actually taking time to pray for them. You're becoming helpful. That doesn't mean that you don't have problems yourself. But now you're getting past your issues and you're being used by the Most High. So you see here that he says that when he laid his hands upon him again, his eye he was restored and he saw everything clearly. So your eyes getting open are going to help others to be able to see. This is how you're going to be helpful. This is what we're talking about here today. It's time for your eyes to be open, because you opening your eyes is going to help others be able to see. Because it's time to separate ourselves from church as usual. It's time to separate ourselves from what we call the black way or the African American way or the hood way or whatever terms we want to put on it. It's time for us to move past those things and operate in the kingdom. In order for you to operate in the kingdom, your eyes must be open. Because the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 17, cursed is the man who makes flesh his strength. It says down in verse 5, it says that he will not be able to even see when good is coming. So the reason why many of you are in situations that you are is because your blessing is coming towards you and you don't even see it coming. Many of you ladies out here that are constantly talking about there's no good men left, because your eyes are closed, you can't even see them. Because you're looking through carnal eyes and not looking through kingdom. You're looking through versus what you think is going to be blessing to you physically as far as money or status is concerned, but you're unaware of the king that God has sent you to be there for you spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Some of our men are so caught up in seeing what the woman looks like, not even understanding who she is on the inside. And when you partner yourself with people that are against your purpose, that are anti-purpose, anti-destiny, anti-Christ, your purpose is hindered or either destroyed. So it's time to open your eyes, because you're going to be able to help others see clearly themselves. All right? So now, as we move forward,